So these are my drain screens. Idea courteous of Mineral Springs Tilapia. Greg, I appreciate it. And he installed these same sort of screens on the bottom of his totes because of how we did this with our totes, picking up water off the bottom. Our water runs right out the bottom valve, and that's a 2-inch line. Now, through the ball valve, maybe only 1.5 inches or whatever, through the guts of the ball valve. It might be a full 2-inch, I'm not sure. But regardless, a pretty good size fingerling tilapia could swim through that and could find itself, up into the swirl filter. And really, in my system, it could make it all the way through to the pump if it wanted to, if it gets past this. So these are, to keep them out, these are 1/4-inch drilled holes. Maybe they're 3/8. A little bigger than a quarter for sure. But anyway, they're big enough that the fingerlings that we put in these tanks won't be able to swim through them. And this end's capped off solid. This will be the end that sits out in the tank. This end is what will slide into basically the inside of this. There's a plastic kind of where this is blown out here, plastic. There's a kind of just a little hole, and you can just cram this in there and just wedge it in. According to Greg, you can just drive it in with a hammer. So the interesting thing, though, that I'm going to do, let me show you this one first. This is the other one. I got two like this one, and then this one here, I put a fine mesh screen on. This is just a paint strainer. I put that on there because this will go in this tank here, which will be the tank for the smallest fingerlings. So basically we'll have our breeder tank. Breeder tank will get them up to about 1 inch long, which at 1 inch long, they are still tiny enough they could swim through one of those holes. I mean, we might let them get a little bit bigger in the breeder tank, but for now, since I want to take the small fish that we have and get them into this tote as soon as possible, I just went ahead and stuck that screen on there. And I'll probably end up pulling it off later in the future once I get everything ironed out. But for now, it's on there. But y'all going to have fun with this because what I've got to do is I got to go swimming. You're all excited about the system. Want to get it filled up as quick as possible. This tank here is only about half full, so I'll be able to hop in there and, just be up to about my hips. No big deal. But these two tanks are completely full. So I'm going to have to dive in there. Yes, I know I could drain the tanks, but I don't like wasting water, especially not for something that was my own stupid fault anyway. So I'm going to jump in there, and I'll have to actually dive down and see if I can hammer them in. I don't know if I'll get any footage of me inside the tanks. It depends on whether or not my wife can help hold the phone and watch me go swimming. But I'm going to do it for y'all's entertainment, so I hope you like it. All right, the moment of truth has come. I told y'all how I was going to have to put these fittings in. Got the camera rigged up here so you get to see all three, which I'll have to crop out the in-between downtime. And I got my wife hiding in the shadows watching just so she can laugh at me. The tank on the far end back there is about 78 degrees, so it's somewhat attractive. These are probably about 70 to 74. It's going to be a little bit colder, so I'm going to do the cold ones first just to go ahead and get the shock out of the way, and then we'll do the warm one. Are you going to stay out here with me and hand me them, or you want me to put all three of them up there? Well, I'll just put them up here where I can grab them. That's fine. Once I get into one tank and I'm wet, I don't want to crawl down here on the dirt and then into the next tank. I want to just be able to go tank to tank. You actually put the catwalk back up here. Oh yeah, that's nice. I need a hammer. Woo! Huh? Woo!
You're like cut in half.
Okay, I need a hammer or a thumper. All right, it's really not that cold. It's just a little bit shocking. Got my pipe, got my thumper. I forgot a hammer, so I'm gonna try to use these pliers. Let me get in here. I don't have underwater. I can't show you guys that, but I'll show you the end resultant product.
You want me to get a second view looking down on you? As you do?
Want to. I've been lied to. Greg, it doesn't fit. the first time I've opened my eyes underwater in a long time. I couldn't see anything. I don't know what to do because it's not
too big, too little.
Too big.
What happens if you like took this to the radial sander and sanded this off at an angle?
That might work. My wife went and sanded the edge off, and I'm gonna dive in here. I think it'll work because it was almost fitting before. I think it'll work. We just tapered the edge right here just a little bit, just like how I showed y'all to do with the uniseals on the barrels. It just helps get you a little foot in the door. So let's dive down here and see if it works. It's in! Okay, so Greg, you only partially lied to me. 1.5 inches is the right size, but you have to taper it. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Greg didn't, for everybody else who's watching this. Maybe he didn't, maybe his barrels were just a hair bigger, maybe he hit it a little bit harder, I don't know. But it's in, and it's secure. I mean, there's no way, even if I bump it when I'm cleaning the tank or something, it's not going to fall out. So it's in there. Might dive in here and tap it a little bit more just to make sure I'm real comfortable, but might be able to hear my wife in the background. She's running the sander on the other two pieces. So as soon as she gets back with these, we'll move over to the next tank and hammer them in. All right, moving to tank 2. This might be a little bit more difficult. Tie the lid open on this one, like we did that one. You gotta try to climb in while holding the lid open. This should be interesting. Like an otter. Pipe number 2. Here we go. That was easier. Either you tapered it better or the hole bigger. Because it went in super easy. See if you can close the ball valve. I'm just curious. Can you still close it?
Yeah. Close now.
Okay.
You want me to open it back
Yeah,
up?
open it back up. Like I can feel the pipe moving a little bit, but it might just be because of how you're pulling. This is hot tub quality right here. Those tanks might be colder than I thought. This feels really nice, actually. This is rather pleasant. Here we go. I don't even got to dive in this one. I can just squat down. All right. Valve check.
This one's still closed.
Oh, make sure you can open it.
Yeah, but then...
That would make sense. It's a ball valve. You have to be able to open it. If it's closed right now, you have to be able to open it. Yeah, this is rather... You sure you don't want to come in?
Yeah.
Nice. The things we do, honey. The things we do. We are not your average couple at all.
You're swimming in recycled totes.
Hey, the good thing about that is I know exactly how I'm going to build a swimming pool for the kids. Ta-da. I wish I'd known about that as a kid. That stock tank worked just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, kill it. So there you go. The drain Pipe is in. Like I said, it's nothing fancy. It's just that piece of pipe with a solid cap on the end. And drill full of a bunch of random holes. But we had to hammer it in there, and I had a lot of fun going swimming. So that's in the first tank. And there it is in the second tank. And if you can see through the splashy water, there it is in the third tank. And we are getting ready to put some fish in here, so stay tuned.